We've got Dr. Chang here to talk to us about pollen competition. So in style. So she's going to talk to us about, is bigger always better? All right. Don't laugh too loud. Okay. So actually I'm going to switch, sort of the kingdom here a little bit and get you to start thinking about moose. Okay. So when you think about moose, what do you think first? Ridiculously large antlers, right? So sexual selection is actually, this theory was suggested by somebody, by Darwin, to explain these kind of ridiculous and spectacular traits in animals, okay? So the idea here is that these traits are good for male-male competition, they butt heads, and for female choice. These female individuals actually basing on these traits to select which male they're going to mate with, okay? So these two processes, male-male competition, female choice, are really well accepted in animal literature. But when it comes to plants, people doubt it, okay? They said, oh, well, you look at these morning glories, they're so pretty, anything that can attract pollinators to come to this plant is going to be good for male function, good for female function, and therefore you should not see anything that will be sex-specifically operating. Okay, so I beg to differ because I think what we are focusing right now is actually these really flashy traits that happen before the pollinators come. But what's important is actually after the pollinators have come. Okay, so these pollinators, they bring pollen grains, they come to the stigmatic surface, this is my representation of stigma, and they say, okay, we have different pollen grains coming from different individuals, now ready, set, go. See who is going to run faster, grow faster, and reach the girls first, right? And so that's what I think sexual selection can be applied to plants, okay? So what I did was that we developed these two lines of pollen grain lines. One has larger pollen grain, one has smaller pollen grains, and we put them on the stigma. And I hope you can see that these little thin lines are actually pollen tubes that are growing out of pollen grains, okay? They're racing down the style tissue to reach the female, the ovules, okay, of these plants, okay? And so the specific question that we're asking in this line of research is pollen size, which is the trait that I could find that is as male as you can find in a hermaphroditic plant, okay? Is larger pollen grains always better than small pollen grains when it comes to getting the girls, okay? And so we did this, we brought larger pollen grains, small pollen grains, put them on the stigma, and then we look at the seeds that came out from these pollen competition, male-male competition, and what we found was that indeed, larger is most often better, but not always, okay? So we found 78% of the seeds that actually came from, is that what I have left? Okay, so given that result, we want to know why that happens. Thank you. That's all I have.